Yeah, you know what it is. It's your boy, Guess Who? You now tapped into Streetnerdz Radio, the #1 station in the streets.
Yes, sir.
Man, look, before we get started, I want to give a major shout out to our sponsors and partners, Bright Future Media. Again, make sure you go get them full episodes on Bright Everything. We want to shout out our sponsors for today, our clothing sponsors, Humble and Hungry. Make sure you go cop them.
Shit, real fresh.
Yeah, they be selling out pretty fast.
I need a couple, matter of fact.
Bro, you hear that? Make sure you got. That's why you got to give me a discount code or something so I can give it to the people.
Definitely.
For sure. Well, this man next to me, all I want to say is like, from the first time I heard his music to when I hear his perspective on things about life, he makes great music, and now got a podcast coming up. We'll get into all that. I want to go ahead and give you your flowers. But go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Hey, man, if you don't know who it is, you've been living on the rock, like I love to say. It's your man Baux, a.k.a. Northside Swiss Slim, a.k.a. Mr. Appreciate You, a.k.a. somebody mama like it, and it's probably yours.
Right. Hey, so let's get into it. Let's get people who living under that rock familiar.
Yeah, most definitely.
Where you from and how'd you grow up, bro?
The story behind Baux. So, I am originally born here, in Denver, raised between Denver and Mississippi. Most of the childhood in Mississippi, Jacson, Mississippi.
How was that growing up?
Man, kind of odd, I say, just because I bounced around a lot between here and there. But most of the time being down there, typical country neighborhood. 8 aunts and uncles, 4 and 4. And so for me, though, I got stuck in the house with the women. You see what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't like the older cousins, Darius and Lavelle and all them that got a chance to go outside and jug and play and do things of that nature. I had to stay inside. And so it kind of shaped me differently than my, cousins and brothers and sisters and things of that nature. And so what do I mean by that? It allowed me to learn, the women aspect, but my mother and grandmothers and aunts wasn't like, normal aunts. Right. They kind of had manly natures, meaning they ran the household. My uncles kind of was able to do whatever they wanted to.
Right.
Kind of had that immature nature, but the women in the household was kind of like, running it. My grandmother had a side hustle. She ran numbers, which,
in Jackson, Mississippi.
In Jackson.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? At the same time, she was a nurse. But everybody had their side hustle. Everybody had something that they had going on. At least the ladies did. The aunts, my mama. And so
is that where you would say you got your hustle from?
Most definitely. A lot of people think it came from, my uncles and things of that nature just because when I got older, I became so close to them.
Right.
But no, all the hustle, everything that shaped the mentality that you see that is me came from the women in the family. Right.
So Jackson, Mississippi, and Denver, Colorado, them are two totally different places.
Man, tell me
what is the biggest difference or one of the biggest differences that between both places?
Yeah, I'd probably say the biggest difference between both places. It's a lot of differences. One of the main differences for me was coming from a place where our skin complexion, in so many words, fucks with each other. You dig what I'm saying?
There are so many of us down there.
Right. To a place where it's like, yo, what's up, G? And no response.
Right.
Or staring at a person gets you a hostile reaction. Like, yo, my G, I'm just looking at your fit. Like, you want to fight me now. Where the fuck is this coming from, right?
Right.
And then going back to Jackson, and now what's happening is some of the stuff that I'm experiencing in Denver, I'm not even realizing subliminally is
rubbing off on
me. So I'm going back home, and they like, oh, what's up with you? Why you weird? You different now because I'm adopting some of that, those characteristics from them. So I would probably say that was probably the biggest piece for me as culture shock. Then the gang culture. I kind of got enthralled in that as I got older. The summers I would come up here, the more time I would spend up here, learning the Weatherstones, learning the East Side. Well, before the Weatherstones, the East Side, 32nd and Elizabeth.